Hi guys, this is Ptash and I wanted to make a quick little guide to PoE 2 when it comes to the beating campaign. Yes, so I'm near the end of Act 3. I will soon fight probably the Viper boss and the last boss of Act 3. And I will record these fights. The build will be almost exactly the same because I guess I will just get like level 1 level or 2 levels. For a start, I will show you quickly how the build works, like the basic combo. You see a lot of these skills here, but for real I use only two skills and 2 debuffs. So one debuff is Frost Bomb and the other is Frostbite. Frostbite is a curse and that reduces cold resistance of enemies. So it after 1 second reduces the cold resistance by 32%. You can see it here. And Frost Bomb is exactly the same, so it reduces by additional 25%, which gives us a huge boost to cold damage. Outside of that, I just use my left click, which is Ice Strike. I'm just holding it right now. It teleports, it's super nice. And once I build the combo, I use for single target the bell. That's basically all built and it's extremely strong. Also because I have ascended, I just died because I was talking and not paying attention, to be fair. Because I have ascended, I have also unbound avatar. So this is the quick showcase of the build, so really simple and really fun. So let's now dive deep into it. So first is skills. Unbound avatar comes from the ascendancy. I took this one as the first two. You could go with that, but that's just what I took. And it fits better my skill tree. I will soon talk about skill tree. The icon, once you get, basically it works that you gain charges as you attack enemies, as you inflict elements on enemies, and once you reach 100 you can use it for a great buff to your damage. So it's best saved for like a huge opportunity to attack the boss. For example, when the boss is frozen, it's best to use this buff, right? And now I have a level, probably soon. Yes, nice. So then you have Ice Strike, and it's like one of the two main abilities, really. I use Martial Tempo. I think that's a no-brainer because it's just so good to have more attack speed here. Cold Infusion, this is actually questionable for me especially. Although not really, because I don't. If you have a lot of fire or lightning damage in your weapon, you shouldn't use that because it will lower your DPS. But for me, it's good. And then I use Close Combat from level 2 support gem. So you go with these two if you don't have the third, or you use something else here if you have a bad weapon. But generally, you go for a weapon which has cold damage and physical damage. Frozen Locus, I use it rarely to get away from enemies and when I need to have range. So I run away from the enemy and then use Glacial Cascade to sort of attack it if I can't be melee. And as I said, Glacial Cascade, I hope you know that when the enemy is frozen, Glacial Cascade does like 350 more damage, so always reserve that. Killing Palm, I use it only to cool bosses. I don't use it for power charges. I actually don't really need it. Very rarely I use it to teleport to an enemy if I can't reach the enemy in some reasonable way. Doesn't really matter. Herald of Ice is my spirit skill. It's just so good for clear and I love it. And when we are near spirit skills, also I use Area of Effect buff on it, support gem. And when it comes to spirit skills, I also use Wind Dancer. It's just really good with evasion. I also have notes on 3 for evasion, and generally when you gear you should go for like evasion rating and energy shield items, so like this, right? Then we have Frost Bomb and Hypothermia. They don't have supports, they are just here to buff my damage, and they do so heavily. Exposure and reduce cold resistance. It's just so good. And then we have Tempest Bell, which is the final skill, and it's like enormous damage for single target. That's why I decided to pick Concentrated Effect. But I offset that with Expanse because otherwise it has just too little range. I just go for pure damage because it does so much damage, you will see on my clips. So yeah, that's it when it comes to skills. Now items, as I said, here focus for like physical damage and elemental flat damage. That's just the best. All the rest is worse. That's the highest priority. When it comes to stuff like rings and stuff, I heavily focus resistances. Look how much I have. And in slots also resistances, unless we talk here, so obviously flat damage. As I said, weapon, as much flat damage as possible is the best. Here is nothing exceptional, just basically resistances all the way. And as much evasion as I can get. Movement speed is mandatory on boots, so even though I dropped these awesome boots, I can't use them because like it's just too good. Movement speed is just too good. Although you can argue on Monk I really teleport a lot, so maybe I could do without that 10% movement speed, but I don't know. Also collect charms so you can swap them. I'm currently using freeze immunity. This I dropped, and it's so awesome for me because I use Wind Dancer as spirit reservation skill. It's just so good, and if you have like an Exile or something, just buy that from trading site. Yeah, it's just awesome. And that's it when it comes to items, I guess. What? How did he find me? Okay, and this is where stuff gets interesting. So, it's a little weird. Let's maybe start here at the start. So I took skill speed and attack damage, although I later realized that these nodes are quite extremely good. So I plan, and this 4% movement speed is also awesome. I also plan to take these because it's like 36% of very important stats for me defensively for 2 points. But I'm worried that I spent too much time here. Here I took mana regeneration rate. And I went here because there is a lot of crit chance stuff here. So I went here because of that, and also this is extremely good. Many monks will use that, and you can pick this and this if you want to swap this build a little and like add 1 or 2 skills that inflict ignites and shocks. This will probably heavily increase your damage, but remember that the gameplay won't be as simple, and I love how simple this gameplay I have is. So I sacrifice some damage. This is busted, and I think it will get nerfed, by the way. So yeah, when it comes to okay, so maybe let's finish the basic tree. So I went here. Attack speed is like no-brainer to me. It's just so good to get 7% attack speed for 3 points and 6% if you've been hit recently. It's a bit counter synergetic with Wind Dancer and Evasion, but whatever. I still think that attack speed is just so good. Here I took this, and I don't really like that, but I really need that energy shield recharge rate. But I wonder if it's worth, so you might also pick that, but yeah. And this is the most interesting stuff about this build. Life recharges instead of energy shield. So basically it swaps how this works. So if I press Life Flask, my energy shield recovers, but it doesn't work for life. And this is sorry, and this is why I took this, because with this it starts so much faster. And why I decided to do that? I decided to do that because I've noticed that on boss fights, which take a long time, you also often run out of life flask, and it's very hard to get life recovery. But Monk has very easy and fast access to Eternal Youth, and he has very easy access to these nodes, which make it good. So basically, yeah, I just use it, and it's awesome, I have to say. Then I puffed here for the Javel socket, called damage penetration, and I know that you get cold penetration supports, but this one will work with everything, so I think it's better, and like for 3 points, and you save a support skill basically. And then I went here just for this sweet attack speed, and for this here I don't use power charges, so I didn't pick that, and here I will probably use that. But yeah, I wonder if a staff is also a quarter staff, but it's not that crazy, but it's quite good. So for 3 points I just don't need it as of now. So yeah, that's it when it comes to the tree. Yes, when it comes to ascendancy, you can go here first, but we will like you would have to swap a bit stuff here, maybe not go for this and just use regular potions, right? You would save a lot of points for real, because you wouldn't have to pick that, right? But I just like that I don't run out of flask charges. This is why I picked that. Oh, I have these notes here. That's awesome. I didn't even notice. But I feel like my freeze buildup is just... Overall, I feel like taking this freeze or element buildup sources is pretty bad, because you are better just picking damage. And more damage also increases your freeze buildup, because you have bigger magnitude of that build up. So yeah. Okay, this is it basically, guys, and now I'm in Drowned City, so I will soon face final act boss and the Viper boss, which is apparently very hard as well. So I will record my first attempt. I will show you what changed, but shouldn't change much really, and you will see how this works. And maybe for now I will end with like 15 to 20 seconds of that clearing the area, so you see the stuff in action, okay?
accursed wealth! How disgusting! I cannot. You were not worthy of my skills. This looks like it will fit the ziggurat store.
Here!
Don't worry. I can solve this. This is all just a misunderstanding.
Which one of you activated the gate? Which one of you is a Val blood?
Why, that was me, of course. I am Alva the Lie, treasure hunter extraordinary.
Take her! Bring her to Doriani. As for you, I will pay back every drop of Val blood you have spilled. I will not
You are
relent!
welcome to try.
Storm Val Showpick! You will fall before us!
finally come for me. Observe. This ends now. Sacrifice is the only path to survival. I will succeed!
Big-headed
Do you truly think you can match me? I will burn you alive. You think you can stand in my way? How foolish. The destruction of Axolotl is paid 1,000-fold. I plan for every contingency. You think you can run? The end of the world is nigh. Self-destruction! This is not over yet. I will burn you alive!
Frost Crush!
How foolish! Do you truly think you can match me? You think you can run?
Need more mana.
I will burn you alive. No! Do not fail me. Not now!